Okay, here we are in Arlington along George Mason Drive. This is Arlington, Virginia's Grand Canyon. Just want to talk a little bit about equity today. Critical theory, in my mind, what it does is it insists that everyone recognize that they came from a group of some kind and that they got benefits from the group and they may have had disadvantages from the group. If they got benefits that came from the benefits of others, then they personally should be held responsible later in life for participating in repairing what they took, maybe that they didn't earn because they were part of a privileged group. And so that sounds like critical theory. It's anti-individualistic. And so groups, your morality is partly whether you participate in the group in an even-handed way and share risks and responsibilities and hardship with other members of the group appropriately, and then whether your group does so in turn. And so if your group is a wrong group, then you're not okay either. If you happen to grow up and benefit from fascism or supremacy, then you're not okay either. So that's one of the ideas. My whole thing is related to my speech, my books and my blogs. My books are kind of autobiographical, but they tell a very ironic narrative, which can be broken up into pieces and filmed. But the news aggregation I do in my blogs, a lot of people wonder why I do it and don't charge for it, don't make very much money from it. And they think I'm in the way of other people's solidarity and organizing, and I'm keeping things out in the open and causing them to remain debated when they really should already be settled. And that's particularly minorities. I don't participate in recognizing intersectionality or complaints or merely because you're a member of a group or counting heads. And I think about personal responsibility and critical thinking and making the most of yourself, and so I don't pay a lot of attention to people's complaining about their group too much. That's something that's been developing in the last several years, particularly. It's sort of started in 2013, got worse with Trayvon Martin and then with Ferguson and Baltimore, and then it's gotten much worse when Trump won the election. And I have to admit, the behavior of a good part of Trump's base makes you think that all they wanted was to make themselves a group that could get its privilege back as a group. And it sounds like from what happened on January 6th that that's what they wanted. Of course, that's not okay, and it's a real shift because I've been thinking about the left as being unreasonable and taking away property and saying, well, people are more important than property, so we can take yours away. But now we saw the right very flagrantly do the same thing. So yeah, I'm kind of in a state of flux. But my own writing, I'm trying, in 2022 and a year from now, it's going to have to be much more based on paying attention to the results it gets from other people and how, whether it gets paid for, whether it does other people good, I'm going to have to be much more responsible for what people do with it. So I just wanted to share that thought today. Again, in Arlington's Grand Canyon.